I recently read 4,000 Weeks, Time Management for Mortals by Oliver Burkeman. The average life is 4,000 weeks long. This is what my 4,000 week life calendar currently looks like. Yours might look like this, or this. As the remaining weeks on our 4,000 week calendar pass by, there's pressure to make the most of them. Each of our remaining weeks are like glass jars passing on a conveyor. If we fill each jar as it passes by, we feel like we're justifying our existence, Oliver Burkeman says. But if we let too many pass by unfilled, we feel we've wasted them. We don't want to see partially filled jars go by, so we take on more responsibility than we can handle, and we think of 1,000 cool things we want to do before we die. Imagine all the tasks you have to complete to uphold your responsibilities at work and at home are like tiny pebbles piled up in the corner of your mental factory. And your bucket list items are like big rocks piled up in another corner of your mental factory. As you fill your time jars with pebbles and rocks, you live with a constant anxiety that you won't have enough time to do everything you need to do or want to do. Oliver Burkeman calls this existential overwhelm. If you try to eliminate existential overwhelm with better time management systems and efficiency hacks, you'll run into the efficiency trap. Because the faster you clear the deck of things you need to do, like emails you need to answer, tasks you need to complete, and things you need to clean and organize, the faster your deck is filled with new things to do. If efficiency is your goal, you'll never achieve peace of mind and you'll always feel like you're playing catch-up. The anxiety from existential overwhelm, the frustration generated by the efficiency trap, and the pressure to fill your remaining weeks with activity makes your limited time on this planet unnecessarily stressful. However, there's a way to eliminate existential overwhelm, avoid the efficiency trap, and enjoy your remaining weeks while living a productive life. First, eliminate existential overwhelm. Several years ago, Warren Buffett was boarding his personal plane when his pilot asked him for goal-setting advice. Buffett told his pilot to make a list of 25 life goals and arrange them from the most important to the least. After the pilot thoughtfully organized his goals, Buffett said, "Now throw out goals 6 through 25 and never do them under any circumstance." Life is too short to let the moderately appealing goals in slots 6 through 25 distract you from completing the life-changing goals in slots 1 through 5. Our modern world provides us with an inexhaustible supply of things that seem worth doing, which leads to a bottomless bucket list. The irony is that the more we want to do, the less we accomplish. Because the more activities we have to choose from, the more we overthink, perpetually plan, and live in a continuous state of existential overwhelm. If you want to eliminate existential overwhelm, create and maintain an open and closed life list. Start by capturing everything you wish to do someday on the open list. This might be businesses you want to start, skills you want to learn, and countries you want to visit. Now move 3 to 5 goals over to the closed list, and don't look at the open list again until you complete or forever abandon one of the goals on your closed list. It's good to have at least 3 goals on your closed list because there will be times you must wait for a decision or event before proceeding on one or more of your goals. Once you move 3 to 5 items from your open list to your closed list, fully accept that you may never complete the items on your open list. After emotionally accepting that fact, your only concern in life is getting the 3 to 5 items off your closed list before you die. When you have an open and closed list system, it's like you're getting a truck to come and take away most of the big rocks in your mental factory, and being left with a few rocks you know you can manage. After chipping away at a remaining rock and putting the entirety of the rock in your time jars, you can then call the truck driver back and select a new rock, instead of just having a bunch of rocks hanging around pulling at your psyche. The added bonus of having an open and closed list is that you're less likely to procrastinate because you know the only way that you make room for new and exciting activities is to get an item off your closed list and create a vacancy for a new goal. Once you've started eliminating existential overwhelm, it's time to avoid the efficiency trap. The more efficiently you answer email, the more email you receive. The more efficiently you conduct meetings, the more meetings you'll be asked to lead. And the more efficient you clean dishes, the more often you'll be put on dish duty. So be careful what you choose to be efficient at. The more efficient you are at something, the more of that something you tend to do. As a highly driven individual, you may want to be great at everything you do. But being great at low-value activities usually means a good portion of your 4,000 weeks will feel meaningless. Rather than doing everything excellent, practice strategic underachievement. Identify all the low-return activities you must do to uphold your responsibilities at home and at work. Then look at each of those activities and ask yourself, what is the absolute bare minimum I can do so I can make time for what matters most? Can you clean your house once a week and stop cleaning when you feel it's 80% clean and still feel satisfied? Can you cut the lawn half as frequently and still feel like you're managing your yard? Can you take twice as long to respond to email without angering anyone? You'll probably find that doing just enough and being good enough at most tasks will allow you to stay on top of your responsibilities and create time for what matters most. Your time is limited, so reduce your standards for most activities, make some trade-offs, and embrace strategic underachievement in most areas so you can spend most of your time being excellent in a select few areas. John Acuff, author of Finish, says when you decide in advance what things you're going to bomb, you remove the sting of shame. Now that we've dealt with existential overwhelm and have a way to avoid efficiency traps, it's time to enrich your remaining weeks. The busier you get trying to fill your remaining weeks with activity, the faster life will pass you by. But you can subjectively slow down time, eliminate busyness, and savor your remaining weeks by embracing your finiteness and conducting last-time reflections. You and I don't know when our life is going to end, so it's best that we assume that every experience is happening for the last time. This might sound gloomy on the surface, but when you experience each activity as if it's the last time you're going to experience it, you stop rushing from activity to activity and soak in your experience. When you treat a kiss with your partner like it's the last kiss you'll have, or the cup of coffee you're enjoying is the last cup of coffee you'll ever have, or the song you're listening to is the last time you get to enjoy music, you'll get lost in the moment and have a richer experience and stop worrying about the passage of time. Many of us assume that because we've done something 1,000 times, we will do it 1,000 times more. So everything feels routine and we stop paying attention to what we're doing. But if you stop taking things for granted and start assuming that everything you're doing for the last time, even the most mundane experiences can be filled with beauty and enjoyment. In the end, most time management systems create existential overwhelm, efficiency traps, and a never-ending sense of busyness, which leads to unnecessary stress and erodes what time we have left on this planet. But we can live happy and productive lives by embracing our finiteness and working with an open and closed list, embracing strategic underachievement to make time for what matters, and practicing last-time reflections. That was the core message that I gathered from 4,000 Weeks by Oliver Burkeman. This is a hard-hitting time management book that will make you rethink your relationship with time. I highly recommend it. If you would like a one-page PDF summary of insights that I gathered from this book, just click the link below and I'd be happy to email it to you. If you already subscribe to the free Productivity Game email newsletter, this PDF is sitting in your inbox. If you like this video, please share it. And as always, thanks for watching and have yourself a productive week.